See if this puppy works here. All right, looks like it is working. Looks like it is live. Where I was having some pretty big technical difficulties here earlier on, but man, what a win! What a win! I was sitting here talking about it. I went live actually on our Facebook page, on the Will to Win Facebook page, and I couldn't get the live feed to come on here. But I was talking about, the first half. It kind of looked like a regular Raider game. It kind of looked like, a first half that was going to be, just good. We were going to be kind of lackluster, kind of jabbing, punting the ball, doing those types of things. Their offensive line was just dominating our defensive line. And I just thought, okay, this is pretty normal. This happens to us a lot. And then in the second half, we're going to come back. And we did. Janikowski was on today, was doing some good things, made the field goals he had to make. We were down by 1 point. I thought, okay, we have a chance here, but we've got to go in at halftime, make some adjustments, and, come out. The problem is that, generally speaking, our third quarter, as this year has proven, and again, I'm broadcasting simultaneously here, but our third quarter, as it has been proven, we're not a very good football team in the third quarter, right? So I was sitting there thinking, okay, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna pull this portion out? And luckily we did something that we normally don't do, which was basically have a really fantastic third quarter, which we haven't done very often. Looks like we got a caller on the line. Caller, you're on. Who's calling? I'm sorry, say that again.
Hey.
What's going on?
Can you hear me, buddy?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, what's up?
Hey, buddy, this is ISO Raider from Down.
What's going on, ISO Raider?
Hey, guys, man, another great victory, man. You got to believe. You
Absolutely.
just flat out got to believe. I mean, the team is playing outstanding. I had doubts early. First quarter, I did. Then all of a sudden, the momentum swing, game over.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about game over probably after they came out and scored in the first 3 plays in the third quarter. Momentum swung. This game is over. Raiders got this game.
Yeah.
Raiders got this one. I wouldn't even worry after that point.
Well, but let me ask you, ISO. So like I was saying before, I was looking at it like, okay, historically we have a sort of a bad first quarter, then we have a good second quarter, then we go into the half. Generally, we come out again. We struggle a little bit in the second half, and then we really turn it on in the fourth quarter. Right? That has been by and large what we have seen all year long. So when Buffalo came out in the second half and they immediately scored, and then we seemed like we couldn't do anything, and what happens? They score again. I thought, oh my God, here we go. I'll say it again. I say this over and over again. When Bill Musgrave's back is to the wall, when Derek Carr's back is to the wall, they produce.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. I don't know, man. Hey, brother, I am just ecstatic.
Yeah.
That these guys are playing as well as they are. And one of the key things to this game, offense turned it up and got on fire. After that first third down stop that we got on Buffalo, they started to change instead of pressuring.
Yeah.
To put pressure on Buffalo's offense to let Shady run around. They started making contact and holding and standing ground Then when Shady didn't have anywhere to go, all of a sudden their running game stopped.
Right.
Did you see that?
I saw
it.
The
defensive line, instead of pushing and attacking on defense up front, they was like, okay, make initial contact and everybody holds.
And they gapped.
And watch and see where they go.
They gapped. Yeah.
Watch and see where they go, then attack.
Yeah.
That right there was the key. I mean, that was a great defensive strategy move.
Yeah.
And this daggone offense, man, I mean, it can piss you off like it did in the first quarter with the two drop touchdown passes, one from Cooper and one from Seth. But then, I mean, it's like these guys are playing around with defenses, man.
Yeah.
You know, like they said, we got all these weapons that can be used at any moment. Like Cooper. We ain't seen Cooper with a touchdown pass in, 2 weeks?
Right.
All of a sudden, boom. He comes out, and then Khalil Mack, man.
Yeah.
Khalil's starting to turn it on again.
Yep. Yeah, you saw Khalil Mack is our Derek Carr on defense. I think that's what we've been waiting for. The numbers, the stats, the tackles, all those types of things, they're all great. But can you, when the game needs to be closed out, can you close out that game? Can you become that Von Miller? And he's shown in back-to-back weeks the ability. And look, he was instrumental on that interception. He created the strip sack. I mean, he basically prevented this football team from coming back. So again, as good as Derek Carr is when the chips are down, we're now seeing, again, not so much a 5-sack-a-game Khalil Mack, but a constant pressure, always having to be accounted for, beating those double teams that he was struggling against and triple teams that he was struggling against. They're still not calling holding on this guy, which just, I scratch my head. You know, he's even looking like, what the hell's going on here? I mean, come on. But he literally has become that cornerstone on defense that Derek Carr is on offense, and it's just been really, really cool to kind of see that, man. So, man, we're 10-2. You know, we're ahead. We stayed ahead. The Chiefs won. I didn't see, man. Do you know if the Chargers won or Tampa won?
I think everybody in the conference won the game.
Did they win? Okay, I didn't get to see it. I was watching.
No. I think San Diego did lose.
Did they lose?
I think they did a last second. You know, another fourth quarter meltdown on their part.
There you go.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But man, I was hoping for Kansas City to lose. I was flipping the TV, hoping that
it was close. It was close.
Yeah.
It was a close game.
I mean, man, Matt Ryan's on fire earlier in the year against us, but now he's petering out down the stretch.
Yeah.
Like they've done for the last 30 years.
Right.
I mean, we just hit Atlanta at the wrong time. It's second game of the year when they're on fire.
Yeah.
Now Atlanta can't win again. But we're on our own, man. We are pushing. We are making strides. Reggie McKenzie, Executive of the Year.
Jack Del Rio.
We need to start pushing.
Jack Del Rio, Coach of the Year.
Coach of the Year. That's right. I mean, we should make a clean sweep of this thing. Derek
Carr, Khalil Mack. Yeah, there you go. Offensive and defensive MVP, head coach, and GM. And they don't have anything for owner, but I mean, Mark Davis has done his due, man. He's created a contender, and everybody that makes fun of him or jokes about him, it's ridiculous, man, because this guy did what everybody said to do. Go out there, get a general manager, don't mess around, get football people that can scout and put money into your facility. He's done all those things, man. Hey, man, we got to jump. There's a bunch of people online here. Appreciate you calling, brother, man. Again, any last words here on this 10-2 football team, man?
Yeah, well, the 10-2 football game is great, but I looked at Knight's sign off the other day, man.
Yeah.
And tell a brother, man, he's doing a good job, and tell sorry for all them haters out there. Some go to hell. They don't make him who he is. He is who he is, and don't be ashamed and be afraid of being who you are. You know, I hope he gets things going. You know, whatever other options there are in his life that he's trying to get together with. But come on back to the show. Come on back to the show where some damn real folks are. We know how the damn game played. The hell with all of them. And now, I'm sorry, family show. All those people that want to call in and give negative comments and stuff like that. Man, tell them, who gives a damn?
Yeah. No, man, we appreciate it.
Next week, man.
Appreciate it, man. You know what? The bottom line is, man, that's a good guy, and you know, he's got to do what he's got to do, and you know, we're gonna keep on doing what we got to do. And I don't think we've seen the last of the night, man. I'm just gonna put it out there for all of you listening right now. You know, the bottom line is, all the people that called, man, I don't think we've ever had one negative call. Of all the real people, I don't think we've ever had one. We had that one drunk guy who was like, "Hey, I told you about Derek Carr." That one guy, but that was about it. But he knows, man. He knows the real people. He knows the love, man. And like I said, there may be an Oakland Knights sighting. You know, we never know. He said you know, if we come back to the table with a big enough, you know, re-signing, and you know, we offer him his own parking space and all kinds of other stuff that, you know, I'm going to think about it. I'm going to think about it. You know what I mean? He deserves it. He's a good man. And he was a good partner, man. That's a man of tremendous character, and he saw something that, you know, he just needed to do his thing. So, but like I said, keep an eye out. Keep an eye out, man. Keep an eye out. But he knows the love, and I'm sure he appreciates you saying that.
I will, man. Look, man, I appreciate you. I'll be here for you, man. I'll call in every week like I normally do, man, and let's keep it going.
Let's keep it going, brother man.
And I love it, man.
All right, brother man. You take care.
All right, later.
All right, our next caller's calling in from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Caller, you're on.
Hey, what's up, man? This is Pedro. I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico.
What's going on, Pedro?
Hi, you, man. You do a lot of good work, man. I love to the night, too. He did a lot of great work, too. Good luck on this future endeavors, whatever he decides to do.
Amen.
Just gotta say it real quick.
Raiders! Even the dogs are going to get crazy in a little bit here, man. But go ahead, man. Talk to me. What did you see, brother? What are your thoughts, man? This team is 10-2. What did you think first about today's game? And we got another one coming up real quick here, man. All those people that are like, "Oh, it's going to be forever to Sunday." Guess what, man? Not a lot of more days until we get to go face to face. And if you want to be the man, if you want to, they keep talking about Dallas, and even when they talk about the AFC, they talk about Denver trying to keep pace with Kansas City. Kansas City's a game back, baby. So tell me, first of all, Pedro, what did you think about this game? And what do you think after that about Thursday night, man?
Yeah. First of all, screw the chefs. They got lucky as hell today. They got very, very freaking lucky. I love Derek Barry. I have nothing against him. I think what he's done and dealing with the adversity that he has, like health-wise, like kudos to him. I don't hate him at all. I think he's a fantastic player. I wish we had him.
Yeah.
But the Raiders, they kicked butt. They were awesome today. The first half was kind of slow. The beginning of the third kind of got me a little upset. But to seeing these guys come back and dominate and win, you know, like beat the team that they're supposed to be, you know, like all kudos to Buffalo. They're a great team, but I'm like, come on, you guys can do it. You know, get the offense, get your stuff together. Come on. And then they did. So, mad love to them. Mad love to Khalil Mack. That dude is a beast.
Yeah.
Reggie, you better pay that dude as soon as possible. He is a stud, man. I'm so happy to have him on the team. And I'm really happy. I hope the defense keeps improving a lot. And I want to see that pass rush get better. You know, just pressure the heck out of that quarterback. Quick question. What do you think of Goodell taking a sweet time, you know, deciding on Alden Smith? It's already been 15 days already. What the heck is up with that? You know, it's just stupid. Just make a decision already. He's being coy right now. It's really pissing me off. What about you?
I got it on pretty good authority, and people aren't going to want to hear this, but I have it on pretty good authority that we're not going to see him this year. that they're going to use circumstantial evidence, basically the fact of the video, the fact that he went in to the rehab, which is basically what they call culpatory evidence or something like that, meaning you tried to hide something, and that's evidence that you did something, right? Like if we don't have a murder weapon, but you deleted all of your emails to somebody who, you know, had a weapon like your weapon, and they're, you know what I'm saying? Like they're getting kind of like this circumstantial evidence, and they're saying, we think that you may have done this. We don't think that you've learned your lesson. In these situations, man, again, anything I think that has to do with substance abuse, and I wouldn't even throw marijuana in there, because I don't think that you can really be, well, I shouldn't say that, man. Maybe there are a bunch of like marijuana addicts out there or whatever, but you know, your opioids, alcohol, but then again, it could be food, anything else. All of those types of things, you know, you're going to need help with, right? So it makes sense that you would allow guys that have had a small infraction like that, drinking and driving, you know, substance abuse, things of that nature. You would think that you would want them with their team. The NFL, for whatever reason, again, looks at players like a commodity. They look at players like, hey, you know what? If you don't come back for a year, another star will be born on another team. You know, look at what look at the kid today, Cowser. You know, he came on, had a sack, right? I mean, here's a guy undrafted, you know, and look at Richard. And so the NFL kind of looks at it like, well, if these big time guys, if they go out or whatever, somebody else is going to pop in and have a big game on Sunday, and that guy will be, you know, they don't look at it like this is our family. This is something that we have to protect. So, you know, it's an unfortunate thing, but I've seen now from two separate sources that are pretty credible, that they haven't been contacted yet. And generally speaking, once you get contacted, you're looking at a week to go and meet with the commissioner, and then you're looking at them trying to reinstate you. That could take another week to 2 weeks. So again, doesn't look too good in terms of him, at least in the regular season, being there. Could he be there in the postseason? You know, it's a possibility. But like you said, he's dragging his feet. They're dragging their feet because of the fact that it's the Raiders. If it was anybody else, he'd be back. If it was Cleveland, he'd be back. He'd be back, you know. So, you know, we'll have to kind of wait and see on that situation. But, you know, for right now, I liked what Cowser did. I think we could generate some pressure. Khalil Mack, you know, I liked what Irvin was doing today. He was actually containing the outside, waiting, you know, taking those kind of 2 steps. If he was coming outside, he was taking those 2 steps back inside so that he can maintain. That's something that he hasn't been doing all year long. He's either been just shooting over the top or trying to come up on the inside, and he was pretty much kind of coming, riding his guy. And if he was making his way all the way to the outside, he was taking a few steps back. And you do that because the quarterback, he's just going to react, right? His body, he's going to drop back. He's going to see you coming to the outside. His body is just, his muscle memory is going to tell him, oh, that guy's coming deep, run up the inside. Tyrod Taylor had a few good runs, but I was really impressed with what Bruce Irvin did today in terms of his force, his contain. I liked what Danico Autry was doing. You know, that first half of this game, their offensive line just was pushing our defensive line around. I mean, it looked like the Denver game. They were dominating us, you know. So we have to figure out something in terms of that. Like ISO Raider said, instead of you know, one gapping and just trying to shoot through and create pressure, we need to do a little bit more 2 gapping and make sure that these guys have to work a little bit harder, you know, to get to the outside. And I thought they did a better job this week than they have in weeks past.
Yeah, it's just, I'm getting sick and tired of Goodell. Man, F Goodell, he's a piece of crap. The freaking Tom Brady cheats. He freaking the whole deflated footballs. He gets 4 games. You beat a woman, you get like 2 games, max 4.
Right.
It's ridiculous. They need to change it up. The CBA needs to do something about this. He has way too much authority, way too much influence on this crap. It's not right. It's ridiculous. And yeah, since Al Davis actually stood up and didn't take any crap from the league in the past, you know, they like messing with us. It's total crap. You know, that's what you get for standing up. Like, we're the little guys standing up to the big piece of crap, you know, that thinks that they own everybody and they're better than no. Yeah, I hope everything works out, but I'm not holding my breath. I hope Edwards Jr. comes back because we need him.
Yeah.
We need him back.
Well, he's already practicing, so that's going to be a good sign. They need to keep him out probably for another week or 2 to get him healthy heading toward the playoffs. We're getting pressure right now. You know, look, we had, 3 sacks today? We had Max strip sack, we had Kauser's sack, and then we had Danico Autry's sack that really wasn't a sack, but, you know, it was a no-gain play that he got Tyrod Taylor. So that was 3 sacks right there. If we can do 3-4 sacks a game, I think we're going to be fine. What was more troubling was how easy it was for even Buffalo to move that ball on us in that first half, and including into the third quarter. If that's the Patriots, that, you know, whatever things that we change at halftime, they're probably going to change as well. You know, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, anybody that can change things up, that can run and pass. I mean, we have to do something. TJ Carey balled out today. I thought he was fantastic out there. So, you know, they got to get it together. But again, look, man, the bottom line is this. When his back was against the wall, Bill Musgrave pulled out his magic wand and he started casting spells, and Derek Carr, you know, did what he had to do. And we were prolific and awesome and incredible and came 21 unanswered points. Let's just start doing that from the beginning of the game, man. I'll be happy. Pedro, man, thanks so much for the call. Any last words you got before we go?
Yes, sir. Just shout out to Nate Allen. He had an interception. Nate Allen fighting. Hey, that's cool. He was able to contribute. Mad love, peace, love, and harmony to all of Raider Nation. We're 10-2, baby. Let's just celebrate. Let's have a good time. Beat the crap out of the Chefs on Thursday. Let's whoop their ass. We gotta take the division, man. We gotta take it.
All right, man.
Yeah, thank you for everything you do for us, man. Thank you.
Absolutely, brother, man. Appreciate the call. We'll talk to you next week. All right, our next caller is calling in from Cleveland, Ohio. Caller, you're on.
Yeah, how's it going, brother?
How's it going, man?
You know, man, listen, I gotta think before we start. Listen, 2 years ago in the 2014 draft, you know, I wasn't happy that we drafted Mac. I wanted Sammy Watkins. And then after last season, you know, I knew that Khalil Mack had a great season, but, you know, I didn't think he was that good. I just thought that it was just a one good season, and then he's going to be like, hey, like just a good football player, but not that good. So
right.
Listen, man, this guy isn't just in the conversation of defensive player of the year. This guy is in the conversation for MVP.
That's right.
Listen, man, this guy is playing out of it. I was wrong. I'm glad I was wrong about it. Listen, man, this guy just keeps showing up. And him and Derek Carr, they're not good players. They're not. They come up, they make the plays that win us the game.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see one. Listen, this team frustrates me like for 3 quarters, and then for the fourth one, as you said, when their backs against the wall, they show up.
Yeah.
So man, 10-2, I'm happy.
You know, that's the way that this team is, and one thing that I can say about that, you know, we talked about it before. At the beginning of the season, we had a lot of expectation that they were going to be somebody that they're not, and that's okay. Who they are now, what they're doing now is winning games. They're winning games, and they're doing what they need to do in order to be 10-2. They're getting better. They're protecting that defense. But going back to your first statement, I think we all get into that same trap, right? Where we think we got Rolando McClain. We thought we were going to have one of the best inside linebackers. We were going to have a Ray Lewis. He fizzled out. You know, we go out and we get whoever it was that we had drafted in the last 10, 12 years, thinking, hey, these guys, they're going to be really, really good. And I'm not talking about Darius Haywood-Bay. Everybody knew that was a stretch. But guys like Michael Huff, we thought we were going to have the next coming of, Tatum or, so you start looking across.
Jamarcus Russell.
Yeah, Jamarcus Russell. We thought we were going to have this great quarterback, And so now when we sit back and we're like, okay, Derek Carr's good, but he's not elite. He's not going to be an Aaron Rodgers. Or we think, okay, Khalil Mack is good, but he's not going to be a Von Miller. You know what? Khalil Mack is better than Von Miller, in my opinion, for what he does, for how he does it. Mm-hmm. Yep, for what he does and how he does it, man, I'll take it. And we got Khalil Mack and Derek Carr in the same draft. Okay, Jelly Ellis, TJ Carey. We got a lot of guys that are contributing right now. Gabe Jackson. We got a lot of guys that are contributing right now out of one draft, man. So once again, man, appreciate the call. And you got any last words to say before we go?
Yeah, I was going to say that I heard that also. I've read on Bleacher Report that Aldon Smith is not going to come back for the rest of the season. And I just think that's a big blow because we expected, I thought that him and Mario Edwards are going to be back to help our defense at the end of the season, but doesn't look like he's going to come back. But, it's the next man's up mentality. Guys are stepping up, making plays. Nico Autry, Jihad Wood, he's doing okay for a rookie. I just think that, Mario Edwards, he's going to be a big piece of our defense if he comes back healthy, especially if we are trying to make a playoff run or something. He's going to be a big part. We're going to need him when it comes to playoff time. So, yeah, he better be healthy.
Absolutely, man. And, that guy, I think, is going to be the big catalyst. A lot of people are excited about Aldon Smith. And I think Aldon Smith can add an element, but the element that he's going to add, again, is the same as the element I think that James Cowser is going to be able to add. If you're looking for a situational pass rusher, you can only have so many linebackers on the field. Even putting Mack at defensive end, you really can only have so many linebackers that you're going to put out there. So once again, I think that the guy that this defense is really missing, the guy that's going to create pressure in the middle, the guy that is going to be the bedrock of this defense, the interior of this defensive line, plus in passing situations, obvious rundowns, is going to be a much stronger than a guy like Jihad Ward at defensive end, is Mario Edwards Jr. He is the catalyst. He's the linchpin. A lot of people don't understand why, but when this guy gets back and if he's healthy, this is the guy that unleashed Khalil Mack. You got to remember, this is the guy, we had Aldon Smith in there, and we were playing Mario Edwards at the end, and then basically Aldon Smith, we lost Aldon Smith, and then they started moving Mario Edwards Jr. into the middle where they're playing Nico Autry right now. And all of a sudden, he started generating a lot of pressure in the middle of that pocket, collapsing pockets and forcing quarterbacks into guys like Bruce Irvin and Khalil Mack. So not only is he really strong in run support in the middle of that defense, which we really need right now. And it's a lot better right now with Perry there, right? He's doing a great job. I like what he's doing, but that guy's a linchpin. I think right now Aldon Smith is just going to give you situational pass rush on the outside. We had him there with Khalil Mack. We had him there for 8 weeks. It didn't produce what we thought it was going to produce. Very similar, I think, to what we're seeing with Irvin right now. When Mario Edwards Jr. comes back, it will change the way that this defensive front. We're not going to get pushed around like we got pushed around today. Today we got pushed around. Jelly Ellis got pushed around. Dan Williams got pushed around. The entire interior of that defensive line, including the ends and the middle linebacker, were just getting dominated in the beginning of that game. So I think, yeah, when Mario Edwards comes back, I think that's going to change. And again, I would love to see Aldon Smith back, but I don't think it would make as much of a difference, again, as a healthy Mario Edwards Jr. would. All right, brother man, we appreciate you calling from Cleveland. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I do agree that Mario Edwards is more important than Aldon Smith because of his ability to play the run, and he can push the pocket back and give the pass rushers
Right.
the edge time to get to the quarterback. But you got to remember, Aldon Smith wasn't signed until 2 days before the Cincinnati game last week, so he didn't have a full preseason with the team, in practice with the team. He was just playing situational, and he's going to be that when he comes back this year. But he's going to be an important piece, not as important as Mario Edwards, but we are going to be.
No, absolutely. No. And I totally agree, man. If we're talking next season, game 1 of next season, I think he's going to have a more of an impact than Mario Edwards Jr. will. I think he figures out, like you said, he's going to have the off season. He's going to be working with these guys through training camp and through preseason and things like that. And I think that he will, have a tremendous impact for the Raiders next year. But like you said, coming off a year of not playing any football, coming in and trying to figure out where are we going to play you. We're not going to yank one of our linebackers right now for Aldon Smith at this point. We can't. So it would have to be situationally. You'd be going in there on passing downs. And like I said, right now, I think we've got a rotation that we can throw at people, particularly with Kauser in there. He showed today, even though he was only limited, again, this guy came off the practice squad after being on injured reserve. He still showed that he has moves, that he can get past people. It's not a fluke. This kid can play in this league. And I think that's another guy that you could kind of throw, at the quarterback, Shalik Calhoun when he gets back, so I think they have enough talent to use as situational pass rushers. What they really need to do is strengthen that front four. And right now, like I said, because of the fact that the tackles are just getting pushed backward and the ends aren't holding their ground, it's just become really, really difficult, I think, for that front four against good lines. And if we have to play Dallas in the Super Bowl, forget about it. I mean, if we face Dallas the way that we played today, they would just run all over this defensive front seven. So we'll see. Okay, brother man, we will talk with you again next week.
Okay, I appreciate you, man. Keep it up.
Absolutely, brother man. Okay, looks like the dogs are barking, man. Something's going on. It looks like the dogs are getting excited, man. Everybody's excited at this point. All right, so let's take a look. We've got another caller calling in from Canoga Park, California. Caller, you're on.
Raiders.
Raiders. Woo! All right.
Yes, sir.
Love it.
How's it going, Raider Pirate? This is Hoops from Santa Clarita. How you doing?
What's happening, brother man?
Oh, man, what a game, man. What a game. The first half, I was ripping my hairs out of my head. I don't even have hairs, and I was ripping them out.
There you go, man.
Then I don't know what happened, but it seemed like the defense and the offense evolved. They learned where the holes were, and I was wondering if Musgrave was going to spot that middle. Their middle of their defense was weak, and I was wondering if he was going to spot it, and he saw it, and he exploited it.
Yeah. Yeah, they did. I thought, from my opinion, what I saw was, again, a first quarter where we kind of went out there to see, could we throw, could we pass? Derek Carr's got the problem. He's not going to get the ball from under center. What was the interior of our offensive line going to be able to do against the interior of their offensive line? I thought they ran a little bit too much directly at Darius, and Darius showed why he is one of the best defensive tackles in the entire league. So I think that they just kind of were jabbing and sparring. And then all of a sudden, man, it was like they got up on us, but not enough. You notice they didn't get up on us enough for them to pull out the whole rip open the shirt and be like Superman, right? So we got into that second half, and they got the ball. They drove down the field. They scored. It just looked like this game was getting away from us. It looked like one of those games where the offense wasn't doing good, the defense wasn't doing good, special teams was showing up a little bit, but they not doing quite enough. They were keeping us in the game. And then all of a sudden we got down by 14. I don't know if it was 14. They scored, I don't think it was 14, but they scored the 2 touchdowns in the third quarter. And that was enough. Yep, that was enough to where I think Jack Del Rio said, release the Kraken, very much like in Clash of the Titans, right? He was like, all right, this week I've had enough of this. You know what I mean? Like, we're done playing the game. We're done playing around. Your back's against the wall. Let's do our thing, man. Let's do it in front of our crowd. Let's do it right here, right now. And all of a sudden, like I said, Derek Carr, when he gets the okay, when he gets the green light, okay, we're done punching to the body, slugger. It's time. He's like a little, Puerto Rican lightweight, bantamweight, like, and then he just started throwing blows. And that's the only thing I can equate it to is a boxer who's a tactician. He's jabbing.
You mean like Wilford Benitez?
There you go, man. I mean, he's
like Wilford Benitez.
He's jabbing, coming to the or even like some of the great Mexican boxers, Cesar Chavez coming to the body, and you're going, why aren't you trying to hit him in the face? Why are you hitting him in his elbow? Why are you hitting him in his leg? But he's just like body, boom, jab, and then all of a sudden, toward the middle of that third quarter, there was still like 9 minutes left. All of a sudden they said, okay, Rocky, it's the 15th round, brother, or the 12th round, whatever. Go ahead. It's time. And Derek Carr just turns around and he goes from being passive aggressive to being damn right aggressive. You know what I'm saying? And just drove down the field.
With pinpoint accuracy, too.
Darts. I mean, cannonball darts.
It's wild punches.
Yeah. That guy's a sniper. He's got a shotgun when he needs it. Even when he throws passes that you're pulling your hair out, he's just kind of laughing like, oh man, I'm sorry. I know I threw that thing. I threw that thing too high. You know what I mean? I did this, I did that. So, he's never losing faith, man. And that's one of the things that I love is this guy he just understands my team is good enough, man. We can do this.
Yeah, I won't keep you too long, man, but it was a great game. I wanted to call in for fellow Bruce Lee lovers like myself.
There you go. Amen, brother. I remember Bruce Lee when Bruce Lee said, water, when you put water in a cup, the water becomes the cup. You know what I'm saying? He was like, whatever you put it in, it is going to become that. Man, there's a great, I liked your post. That's why I sent you back. There's a great documentary on YouTube that has all of his sayings and all the different things, his philosophy, Jeet Kune Do, and the philosophy behind it, and how he wasn't about being a boxer or being a jiu-jitsu guy or being a karate guy or being this. He was about being you. You be you, and figure out the best way for that to be. So, yeah, man, appreciated that. And
I appreciate it. Give Jason all my love, my man. And thanks for keeping the show open. I'll continue watching. I enjoy you. I actually enjoyed you, Jason, and Raider Lion when you guys. That's when I first started watching you guys, when it was the trio of you two.
Right.
I mean, you three, excuse me. But go solo, and I'll still listen. I'll still love it.
Yeah, man, we're going to do some cool things, and, however long it lasts. And, like I said, keep an eyeball out. I'm sure Jason's going to pop in, pop out, get that. He's going to think, even though he's a little bit older, a little bit more gray, that he can still get out there and throw the ball around with the youngins. So, who knows, man? Maybe he's doing a Brett Favre right now. Like I said, we just got to negotiate. Yeah. We got to negotiate a parking spot for him. Few other things that he's asking for. He wants his own private elevator. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens, man. But we appreciate you, and I know that
just still give him that love, though.
he will. Absolutely, man. He's hearing you right now. He'll watch, and I know that he appreciates each and everybody. He's got a rabid following because he is a unique individual. And, people were, putting in some questions, and I think people still don't understand what it is that we try to do. I never try to take credit away from him, and he would never try to take credit away from me. What we built together, and enjoyed doing it, the entire time. So I'm sure, man, he is going to appreciate that. I appreciate you still giving the show a chance, man. And like I said, we will still do what we do to the best, to the best of my ability, and whatever we do from this point forward.
Cool, man. Sounds good. I know you have other college, so I'll let you go, brother. I gotta get to my newborn twin boys now.
All right, brother.
I'll take down Raider gear right now.
All right, take care. All right, hang on a second, guys. Go ahead, man. We got a road dog. Sorry about that. Whenever the wife gets home, the dogs get a little bit rowdy. We got a caller calling in from Ponca City. Is that Ponca City, Oklahoma?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. What's your name?
Todd Davis.
I'm Todd?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. So talk to us, brother. What did you see today?
So let's go how long do you think it'll take till Olin Smith get back?
Well, like we were talking about earlier, it doesn't look like he'll be back at least for the regular season. Based on some of the reports that have kind of been coming out, he hasn't been contacted yet. And generally speaking, once the commissioner contacts you, you have to schedule an appointment. That appointment can take a week. Then once you've gone through the appointment, the commissioner has a week, 2 weeks, up to 3 weeks to make his decision. So once again, it could be a month, could be that we don't see him at all this season, could be that we see him at some point in the off season. But I think if they hold him out for the season, they'll probably hold him out until the end of next year.
What do you think the most trouble the Chiefs will give us?
Well, I mean, again, it depends. They've got a big, strong offensive line like we saw today. They're extremely disciplined. The running backs, they've got running backs that can get to the outside on us. We've shown that we can't contain the edge the way that I think we would like to. I don't see them really doing what they did to us in Oakland in terms of being able to throw the ball down the field like they did. But, yeah, that defense is always tough, man. Is there any way you could turn down your speaker?
Cool. Thanks, man. I love you guys' show.
Appreciate it.
Watch every week.
All right, man. We'll keep watching, man. Hopefully you keep watching, and we'll be here, man. Give us a call next week.
Yeah, I will.
All right. Take care, man.
Go Raiders.
Go Raiders, brother. All right. Gonna have to wrap this up here. Trying to only do an hour. My daughter promised me if we won today, she would take me to the mall and buy me something special. So caller calling in from Visalia, California. Caller, you're on.
Hello?
Yep.
What's up? This is Brodo from Visalia, and I'm 26, and I've been waiting for the Raiders to have a winning season since I was 12. It's been a long wait.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. Well, how are you feeling at this point right now? I mean, obviously, this is a trap game that we could have lost. We're 10-2. Both the Chiefs and the Denver Broncos won today, but we were able to keep that distance between us so that even if the Chiefs beat us next week, they're still a half a game behind, I believe. So we're 10 and – or no. No, if the Chiefs beat us next week, then we're tied, right? 10-3. We'd both be 10-3. Yeah.
Well, no, I think they lost one game. Yeah, if they beat us, we're tied because they have 3 losses. We only have 2.
Right.
So to lose to them, yeah. Well, I had to say that because I'm letting that sink in, and it's kind of like, I haven't had that winning season feeling in a long time, and because during the game I had a heart attack. that Buffalo team was there. That team was running that ball, and I was like, I don't know, I was already accepting loss, but I was like, just wait till the fourth quarter. They could come back. A lot of people trust Derek Carr. I trust them to. I don't know what happened. We scored like 20 or something points. we almost scored a 40 burger.
Yeah.
Really, really, really close.
That's a good defense too.
Yeah. But it felt like the Carolina game. How Tyrod Taylor is the same scrambler as Cam Newton. So I was like, he's gonna run the ball and it's gonna but no, he stayed in pretty good, or he didn't run at all actually.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of waiting for a long time, it's been quite a while. This football team right now is on a 6-game winning streak. Think about that. They're 5-0 on the road. Okay. And now they're 5-2 at home. So it's no longer they can't play at home. It's no longer they can't play on the East Coast. It's no longer they can't do X, Y, or Z. Right now they're 10-2. They have 345 points for, 299 points against. Now the 299 thing, that's a little bit, you want to have it somewhere more around 250, so they're giving up some points, but still, when you look at it, the Patriots are 10-2. The Raiders are 10-2. The Ravens 7-5. The Texans dropped another one today, 6-6. So they're tied with the Titans. But here's the thing, okay? We beat the Bills. We beat the Ravens. So we got to hope that the Steelers, for whatever reason, if we don't keep winning, we got to hope that the Steelers win the division. But we've already beat the Texans, the Titans, and if we beat the Colts and the Steelers somehow win that division, we're almost guaranteed a wild card spot. And I'm not saying I'm thinking we should win out, win the division, have a first round bye. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying we have beaten every team in the AFC. Basically, we've beaten every team that basically we could have a tiebreaker on for the wild card spot. If for whatever reason we lose, we get a catastrophic injury, Derek Carr breaks his finger. Again, they had the crazy thing with Crabtree with his finger. We just have something devastating, and we lose 4 games in a row or whatever. We have those tiebreakers. So we're almost guaranteed at this point. If we can beat the Chiefs on Thursday, and if we can beat the Colts, we could still lose to the Chargers and the Broncos. Maybe still win the division potentially.
I was about to say that. I was about to say that we could afford to lose one of the games, the Broncos or the Chargers towards the end of the season. We can afford to lose, but we really need to get this Kansas City game.
We have to.
If we end up tying with them, they're going to have the first seed. And, we're talking wild card, but home field advantage, the first week bye, that's still a possibility for us. And, geez, my knees are shaking because, I was, all these years, I was like, oh, maybe we could win the wild card game, maybe.
Right.
But to just all of a sudden to jump and feel like we could have the first seed,
Yeah.
The Patriots are they're falling off the ship. Tom Brady, he's a great legend. I hate him, but I'm gonna give him the credit. But he's, the Patriots don't seem as lethal anymore, and Rob Gronkowski's out, so they're getting more average, and that's not good for the Patriots because I don't like saying this, but they're kind of great.
Yeah, I mean, that's you got to give credit where credit's due. That's a football team that's been to the Super Bowl several times. They've got a Hall of Fame quarterback. I mean, whether we like him or not, and I don't, you still have to sit back and say that the guy is, he's a legitimate Hall of Fame candidate. just because of his body of work. And he's a low-round draft pick. You know, they've got a genius for a head coach. They figure out new game plans for every opponent, so it's hard to match tendencies. There's not enough time.
I like to joke around that. I like to joke around and say that he's been deflating the ball right after the Truck Roll game.
No, he was exactly probably before that. I mean, there's actually a statistic out there that shows in the National Football League, the New England Patriots have an anomaly in terms of their fumbles by the quarterback. So if you look at the last 10 years, if you look at the fumble ratio, in most cases, almost all quarterbacks have a fairly similar ratio, 30%, 30.5%, whatever it is. And the Patriots have this ridiculous number, like 0.8. It's just a ridiculous number that nobody else has been able to even get anywhere near in the last 12 or 13 years. So there is some credence to that perhaps they flatten the balls a little bit because Tom Brady's grip, like his wrist, may be a little limp. You know what I'm saying? No. Oh, that's politically incorrect. All right. Anyways, man. But that's still a good football team, man. Like I said, they change, and there's a little bit too much time right now. If we were facing them in the playoffs and it had just happened that Gronk was going to be out and we were going to play them in a week or two, I'd say we would have a big advantage. By the time we play these guys, they're going to have 4 or 5 games to figure out how to devise something without Gronkowski, and then they're going to have a few playoff games as well. So, unless we're like the 4th seed or something like that, in which case, then potentially we would end up playing against the Patriots in Foxborough that first week. But, I think there's just a little bit too much time. I just think if we can get this defense, I don't know why they're not playing TJ Carey more. He balled out today. I mean, I just thought he did such an incredible job out there today. David Amerson did well. Sean Smith even did well. If they could just get this secondary.
For DJ Hayden.
Well, Hayden's gone for the season.
He got hurt. He's on season injury. He's probably not going to get it.
No, yeah, we'll never see him again.
1 year,
I doubt it. I don't think we'll ever see DJ Hayden in a Raider uniform. He'll go somewhere again, like the Saints or wherever Dennis Allen goes, and he'll sign with Dennis Allen because Dennis Allen drafted him and loved him, and believes that he can turn him around in his system and whatnot. So, but he's did his job for what we've needed. For us up until this point. He had a number of years when he didn't do too well, came back in this year. I thought did a great job in the slot. Because I
wanted him to have an impact like Carl Joseph.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were watching earlier in the game, Carl Joseph hitting people. Like after every play, he'd be like, okay, he was hitting people, but then he got hurt. That's how Nate Allen came in.
Well, Nate Allen had that fantastic interception. I mean, again, spurned on by Khalil Mack. I mean, that guy's such a beast. He's a monster. We got to get that. That's what we got to get. We got to get this defense. We were way too predictable. We were outcoached, I think, in the first half of this football game. In the second half, they just decided that they weren't going to take it anymore, and they adjusted, and they did some different things. They two-gapped instead of single-gapped. They had really good force contain on the outside, and they were just running and striking in terms of getting to the ball carrier. So once that happened, all of a sudden, Tyrod Taylor just didn't know what to do. He's not a very accurate quarterback. He needs to be able to run around out there, and he couldn't do it. So we're not going to be facing a team like that. But when you do face those types of teams, look, we could have lost to this football team, plain and simple. So when you do face those guys like the Tennessee Titans with Mariota running around back there, ball, throwing it wherever he can. When you face a guy like Tyrod Taylor, particularly when you face a defense like they have with Rex Ryan and Rob Ryan in there, we put up 38 points, man. Once again, we went over 35 points. 35 points are over this year. This team, this offense, I think, I mean, they're just spectacular. But again, they've got to play that way. And I know it's hard. I know it's hard to do it. I know it's hard to play that way. But I believe that they can do it. I believe that they can sustainably play. They need to put Richard a little bit more in that shotgun, because I'm going to tell you, that kid is so explosive. Use Murray like he was used today.
Yeah.
You know, use him in those goal line
I'm
situations.
expecting him to kick a return for a touchdown.
Well, he's getting close.
Because he's been doing that.
He's getting close, man. Don't worry. It's there, man. Hold on to your ticket, brother. You got to hold on to that ticket, because I'm going to tell you right now, he's going to pop one. I thought it was going to be in this game, but I was wrong. I thought the offense was going to play horribly. The defense was going to play horribly for the whole game. And special teams somehow, between field goals and a kick return or a punt return, that's the only way we have not won this year. So I was like, okay, I see. We're going to win with special teams, man. And then we're going to be able to go back and say we can do it any way we want to do it. Because, again, notoriously we've been terrible in the third quarter, and then we've come back in the fourth quarter. But I thought we were going to be down so far in the third quarter. And like I said, I think Jack Del Rio called it in. Red Dawn, you know what I'm saying? He gave the call. He gave the bat signal. It went up to Bill Musgrave, and Bill Musgrave ripped open his shirt, you know what I mean, and was just, boom, all of a sudden, it's time to roll, brothers. Let's go. We're done playing with these guys. It's time to wrap this thing up, man. It's been fun. Shake their hands. Tell them good game or whatever. It's okay. There's still 9 minutes in the third quarter, but we're about to put our foot on the pedal and leave these guys behind. You know, we're about to break some hearts right now. You know what I'm saying? So what a game. Like I said, that was the way that we did it differently this time. The way we did it differently this time was we came through in the third quarter with a big third quarter, and we kept it going into the fourth quarter defensively, and they did some really good things, man. Hey, man, you got any thoughts before we got to go? I can't stay on too long today, but do you have any closing thoughts for us?
Yeah, I just want to say, I just want to enjoy it, you know. I've been watching you guys for a while, and you know, I guess today I decided to call and just give you my 2 cents.
Yeah, well, we appreciate it, brother, man. You know, and subscribe on the channel. You know, we're going to be doing a daily show. We do a daily show. It'll be changed up a little bit, but there will be some other stuff, and we'll be here after the game to talk, you know, next Thursday night, man. We're heading into it, man. We're heading into the home stretch, and this team is not taking its foot off the pedal. Derek Carr is not regressing. This defense is getting better. Khalil Mack has awoken. You know what I mean? So we're going to see what happens, man. We got to get this. We got to get this KC game, just because they came in and they blackened our eye, man. They split our lip at home. We got to come back, man. We got to do our thing.
All right, I guess my real final thought is the one thing I want to happen besides winning in Arrowhead is Sean Smith gets a pick 6 from Alex Smith. That's all. I guess somehow I'm gonna.
That's poetic. Yep, that's poetic, man. That's poetic justice right there, man. Let him get a pick 6 on Alex Smith to seal the game.
All right, man. Well, I'll see you later, Raider Pirate.
All right, brother, man. Appreciate the call, man. Appreciate the call. Or, folks. Or it could just be that we just run the ball. I would also like us just to run the ball down Kansas City's throat from the beginning of the game to the end of the game. Dominate them, muscle them down. Don't try to play complicated. Don't throw screens and draw plays and, you know, do what you got to do. It's a quick turnaround, so it's not going to be possible this time because of Derek Carr's pinky. So that's going to be a little bit of a problem. But, man, I would just love to see us just lean on these guys the way that we did against Denver and just let them know, like, what happened, it was an abnormality. It was something that shouldn't have occurred. It was a mistake, and we have to correct it. It's an anomaly. It's a spatial problem. Like, if we let it continue, it will destroy the entire universe. We had to set it straight. You know what I'm saying? All right. We got another caller calling in from Bridgeport, Connecticut. Caller, you're on.
Hello?
Yeah, you're on, man.
Hello? Hey, what's going on?
What's happening, brother?
Hey, just want to give a big
Raiders. All right, man. All right.
Yeah, one thing I got to say, man. One thing I got to say, it's a beautiful thing, man. That,
Yes.
you know, the defense finally played some defense.
Yeah.
It finally could actually make two, not one, but two turnovers.
Yep.
I mean, it's just incredible, man, because this defense, man, I don't know. They can't make a stop like in the beginning, man. They was just running all down our throats, man. Just like, you know, it was nothing. And it was just a constant thing that was constantly going on. I really thought, like, at that first, I mean, once they had scored on the first possession in the second half, I thought the game was over. I thought they was going to actually give this game up.
Yeah.
But I'm just glad that the defense just finally got it together, man, and finally made some stops for that.
Yeah. Well, you notice they
You
did
know,
something.
so-
They did something really big. You know, Buffalo basically came out. I think, you know, when I say outcoached, Buffalo came out, and I don't think that Jack Del Rio and Ken Norton thought Buffalo was going to throw the first 9 out of 10 plays, that they were going to continue to try to attack. The Raiders were geared up to try to be in every hole, to create pressure, you know, to try to clog up everything and get into the gaps as quickly as possible, to try to disrupt Shady and try to force him to the outside. And that didn't happen. They were just throwing the ball down the field. So as that, once they were able to get up on us, right, it was like, oh, okay, wait a minute. They went into halftime, and that first touchdown happened, I was like, I'm not feeling too good about this. But when that second touchdown happened, I was like, oh, my God. All right, this is something drastic is going to have to happen here, because I could see this thing getting away from us. But from that point forward, the defense started two-gapping. They were not trying to jump into either of the A gaps. They were basically holding their men, and they were pushing them either to the left or to the right. So they were trying to block both gaps. That was clogging the lanes for the backs to be able to get out into the field of play. And that also made it really uncomfortable for Tyrod Taylor, because he couldn't slide to his left or to his right. That guy's just not used to sitting in a pocket. So you could see that his eye would move to the left, and there was nobody coming from the left, but he'd start to panic and move to the right anyway. Hey, there's nobody coming from the left, dude, right? He's used to pressure. He's an athlete, so he's used to his body, like Willie Beeman, just boom, I see this, I do this, I see that, I do that. So when they were allowing him to sit in that pocket, what to do. And again, that clogged up the lanes for the running backs. That allowed them to make tackles. They got 3 3-and-outs in a row. And like I said, man, the call went up. The call went up. Bill Musgrave picked up the red phone. Bill Musgrave picked up the red phone, Commissioner. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it was like the freaking.
One thing I got to say, too, as well, is how do you feel about Khalil Mack, man?
Oh, man.
I think he got to be hands down Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
How many times he got a sack within the last 7 games?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, not only a sack. Remember now, we're talking about last week, he got a sack. He had an interception. He had a touchdown. And he had a strip fumble to end the game. So to change possession, right? So you look at that. Was this week as good as that? No, it wasn't. But this week, he tips the ball, which creates an interception. He's not going to get credit for that. But let's face it, that interception happened because he freaking created pressure and tipped that ball. He was in the backfield all day. I feel bad for Khalil Mack, man, because he's doing so much. It's kind of like, I don't want to get into this and turn it into another player type thing, but I felt bad for Sammy Watkins. Right here, Sammy Watkins is running down the field and he's wide open. This guy's like wide open. Yeah. And this dude overthrows him by like 15, 20 feet, man. It reminded me so much of Michael Crabtree when he had Colin Kaepernick was a lot better than Tyrod Taylor in San Francisco, but it reminded me of just this guy does everything he can to get open. The quarterback just badly overthrows him. You know what I'm saying? Just badly overthrows him. And that guy's got to walk back to the huddle like, damn, what can I do? I mean, there's not much I can do. I can get open, but this guy can't get me the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, what am I supposed to do? You know, I like I said, I don't want to turn it into another team, or I wish we had Sammy Watkins with us. But if we had Sammy Watkins on this football team.
Thank God we didn't have him, because we wouldn't have had Mac.
Well, and so we wouldn't have had.
It's a good thing.
Right. And we wouldn't, and because of that, we wouldn't have had, you know, most likely we wouldn't have had Carr. You know, somebody could have picked Carr. Once that draft changed even one player, anything could have happened. Somebody could have came to their right freaking mind, like Cleveland, and picked Derek Carr or Houston or, you know, whoever it was. And on top of that, then depending on the season we had, we probably wouldn't have gotten Amari Cooper, right? And it would have gone down and down and down and down. No free agents, no this, no that. Just would have been a whole different thing, man. But no, man.
And imagine if they would have had Kevin White.
Yes.
Kevin White barely even played on the field yet. So thank God they just sat down and they basically thought about it and made the right decision by drafting Amari Cooper. Because if we had Kevin White, I think we would have been back in the top 10 of the draft again.
But we talked about it just last week. We talked about it last week. Al Davis, bless his soul, man. That's the heart and the soul of the nation, the creator. But he probably would have said, I want Kevin White. I like his size. I like his speed. I like his catch radius. I can do some great things with him. And would have he probably would have sat back and said, okay, I could have had Calvin Johnson and I messed up. I could have had so I messed up. So I'm going to go out there and I'm going to get Kevin White. I could have had Adrian Peterson. Oh, I messed up. So let me go out there and get Darren McFadden. I could have had this. I could have had that. And so he goes and he would go for the size, speed. Man, what has happened, the way it's happened for this franchise, for this fan base, you couldn't write it any better. But I have to tell you this, man, and this goes out to all those pundits, all those people that sat back and talked smack about the Raiders for years and years. Well, they're the Raiders. Oh, the Raiders are a mess. You can't be that bad for that long without coming back and being that good. I mean, that's just the bottom line. Look at the Patriots. Exactly. The Patriots were a horrible, horrible, horrible franchise. You know, the Raiders were a fantastic franchise. They went through a very hard fall. I mean, that was nasty. You know, that was a situation where, you know, you get a coach. He starts to turn your franchise around. You can't get along with that coach. You fire him. You get to the Super Bowl. But guess who the coach is for the other team? And then he beats you. It just was nasty. It was an ugly, nasty thing. Those types of things happen. Those types of things happen, man. And in life.
Yeah, because since 2002, we have been suffering. Suffering with not making the playoff for all them years now.
Yep.
So now we're back, you know.
Yep.
We are back, and that's a beautiful thing, man. I just wish, man, Goodell can just sit down with this man, Alden Smith, have this discussion, let him know all about, what it is that, that basically he can't tolerate no more of this nonsense anymore.
Right.
So, he needs to play, man. Put that man back on the field and stop this nonsense. He already did his year suspension. How long does it actually take for you to make a decision on whether you're going to let this man play or not? But it's obvious he don't want him to play, because otherwise he would have been back already. And if this was Tom Brady, he would have been back on the field already.
Well, there's a caveat, man. There's a caveat. There's a caveat, and that caveat is that he's an Oakland Raider, man. If he was a 49er, he'd be back on the field. If he was, Jed York's player, he'd be on the field. If he was a Steeler, he'd be back on the field. If he was a Patriot, if he was a Seahawk, if he was, put it anywhere, Green Bay Packer, whatever you want, he'd be back on the field. The fact of the matter is, and I don't want to buy into the conspiracy and the controversy and everything else, but I can't. But there's really no other excuse that you could come up with. It's the fact that this guy is a Raider. That's the bottom line. He's
Exactly.
a Raider player. And, you know.
Exactly. And the thing is, he's in great shape right now. I see all the videos they've been doing with Smith.
Yeah.
He seems that he's a changed man and everything. Put this man back on the field and cut this nonsense out.
Yeah.
Because actually, they will know how much of a dominating defense we will have with Smith in there. You see how great Khalil is. You see how great Irvin is. Now imagine if you would have had all the Smith in there as well.
Yeah.
It would be a whole lot of trouble for a lot of these offenses. And I don't think a lot of these teams will be running it down our throats like the way they were.
Well, and that's the thing. That's the one thing I will say about Aldon Smith is for an outside linebacker, he was a really, really good run defender. I mean, he understood how to maintain the edge, was tenacious, can get off blocks. I mean, super athletic. I thought he was going to be a much bigger deal in terms of the pass rush than he was when he came and he was paired up with Khalil Mack. Because, again, I think we all thought, oh, my God, these guys are just going to tear it up. We're going to have X amount of sacks. And we didn't, you know. But he did maintain the edge, which is something that Bruce Irvin has struggled with. I thought he did a great, great job of it today. There were no big plays today. Outside of that goal line play, where Tyrod Taylor just kind of ran to the outside. That play, there was no cornerback over there. There was no end over there. Everybody got sucked into the middle of the field. That was just miscommunication, poor alignment. I don't know. But I didn't see the top view of it. I just saw, like, there should be somebody over there, a linebacker, cornerback, safety, something. You know, Nelson came over late. But, you know, I think when Aldon does come back, like I said, I think if he's just used as a situational pass rusher, I think we might have enough at this point. We've got to get Mario Edwards back. Again, you can never have enough pass rushers. And would I rather have Aldon Smith or Shalik Calhoun? Sure, I'll take Aldon Smith. You know, he's just got more experience. He's seen it more. He knows how to leverage better. He gets his eyes in the right place. You know, he's a better athlete. You know, Shalik Calhoun is young. He's got talent. But again,
he's on his way.
Yeah, he's, you know, again, it's going to be interesting to see if they don't make any type of move at this point. And again, they could get a call this week. So if they get a call this week and the commissioner says, come and meet me next week, again, he's not going to be part of the Kansas City thing. And then it's going to, you know, you're going to keep on, you know, moving him down the line. But the bottom line is that you first have to be invited. Then you got to get there. And generally they don't ever say, hey, come see me tomorrow. Why don't you come see me tomorrow at 12? You know, it doesn't work like that. They call you up and they tell you, okay, we want you to come in on next week, Wednesday. By the time you get in there and you come in, they want you to state your case. Sometimes they want you to state your case, then they want to think about it, then they want to bring you back in, right, the next week and ask you a few more questions. And then again, okay, we'll make our decision by next Monday or whatever. So again, you could be talking 4 weeks, a month. And if at the end of that time, at the end of those 4 weeks, they could still turn around and say, you know what, we want just a little bit more time. We want a little more time. So why don't you take the off season? You know, we'll allow you to come back from suspension directly after the season ends, which means you'll be able to have contact with the football team after the season ends. That may be giving him just a little bit too much rope at this point, and he just may hang himself with it.
Right, but I thought this should have at least been an issue with the players unit. You could actually look into it, because I thought that when you had supposedly had 60 days to, you know, come down to making a decision.
Right.
You know, and since they ain't make a decision yet, I'm thinking, you know, can you go to the union and, you know, with the players union, and they can actually, you know, fight this here case for them.
Yeah, but like I said, they're not making a big deal about it. They're basically taking their time. So we'll see. Hey, man, we got a few more callers on the line here, so we got to get to them. I appreciate you calling, brother, man. We look forward to hearing from you again next week. Watch the shows that we have during the week. And, on YouTube, The Will to Win. And hope to hear from you again next week, man. Appreciate your call.
Oh, definitely you will hear from me on Thursday. And go Raiders.
All right, brother, man. Go Raiders. All right, we got somebody calling in from Laurel 236, Maryland. Caller, you're on.
Yeah, what's going on, man? Just a little dope from last week, man. The same one that called y'all about last week. I said we was gonna beat them Buffalo Bills, and it happened. I knew that I told you we would eliminate people from the playoffs, and I told you last week what was going to happen, and we did what we supposed to be doing. I understand everybody don't want us to win the way they want us to win, but we've been winning, baby. Like I told you, we just win, baby.
There you go. So wait a minute. We're gonna have to rename you to the Prophet, the Raider Prophet, or something like that, man. That's got to be your new call name, brother. You got to be the Raider Prophet, or something, man. Think about it.
Y'all gotta let me come in. Y'all gotta let me call in every week so I can tell my deal about this Raider Nation. I was taking over this league. It's been a long time. For a long time, look, we need to start beating people. We owe people about 14 years worth of butt kicking.
That's it, man.
We've been out the playoffs for a while.
That's
it.
So
what's going on now with this Khalil Mack, Derek Carr thing? Hey, look, I love what, like I told you, I love what's going on. We coming back. We here to stay. I just want to know everybody that we here to stay.
Yeah. No, absolutely, man. Just said it a minute ago. You cannot be that bad for that long without being really good, and that is coming. It's coming. It's coming for the league. It's coming for all the prognosticators, pontificators, the ESPN people. Everybody wants to talk good now. But again, they still slap us in the face because I watched it. I watched Inside the NFL. I watched SportsCenter, and I watched NFL Good Morning Football. And everybody keeps talking about the Denver Broncos have got to keep pace with the Kansas City Chiefs. Just slapping us in the face, man.
They've been doing it to us all year. These Stephen A. Smith, these I ain't like Skip Bayless where he with us, but the Skip and Shannon, all these guys, Michael Bobby, I watch the same shows too every morning, and they just talk about, we not real. We not real. The Raiders can't stop nobody. See, this is the thing about it. We almost like with the Lakers when the Lakers had Shaq. Always said one thing. I might not make them all the time, but we need to make them. I make them. And that's what happens. When we need a turnover, we get that turnover.
That's
when
it.
We need that stop in that red zone, we get that stop in that red zone. Yeah. That's the thing about it. Don't worry, this defense will be a lot better next year. This will be a lot better next year. But look, let them grow together. The defense is coming together. Matt, oh my God, you might have to get this man MVP over Crop now. You might have to get this man MVP. I mean, what is going on with this man? I mean, what is he eating now? I mean, what is he eating now? Keep feeding that man that stuff, man, because I don't know where he's eating. He's coming off Mac Truck, Mac Daddy, whatever his name, Mac Master. You gotta give him a nice nickname, man. I mean, oh my God, you might have to give it to him over to my man Carter, or they about to share the MVP or something. I mean, it's crazy what's going on with Khalil Mack is doing out there.
Yeah, he's becoming a complete player. Like they said, some people were scratching their head. Why is he out there covering this guy? Because he can. You know, how come he's not rushing the passer as much as he can? Because he's an integral piece in a lot of different ways. This guy is an incredible. Did you see him take on that tackle, blow past the tackle, jump over the top of the other guy trying to block him, push past the freaking fullback, and make the tackle in the backfield? I mean, the man is a monster. He is a monster. The guy's a monster. He's a run stuffer.
You are so right, man. You are so right. I mean, this is the thing about it. We gotta look up this stat. I don't think nobody had 2 games in the sack, strip sack. Have the sack and take the ball back-to-back games. We gotta look that stat up. I don't think that ever happened before. No. I'm serious. I don't think that ever. I've never seen that somebody have 2 strip sacks. You get the game. Ball game's over.
In the fourth quarter, right.
Ball is over. Y'all not getting it back.
Absolutely. You know, and again, you know, there was a Shannon. It's funny that you brought up all those shows because the partner that I used to do this show with, I'll be doing it a little bit. I'll be doing it on my own a little bit more. But it has a lot now to do with kind of sitting back and looking at these shows and the way that these guys talk and what they said. And one thing that Shannon Sharp said a few weeks ago was Khalil Mack only has – sorry, the dog is going a little nuts at the fence there. But Khalil Mack only has –
he's feeling that Raider Nation.
Exactly. He's going, Raiders. But this man said – there you go.
Hey, baby, I love it, baby. I love it. That's what my own answer thing right there.
There you go. There you go. That's it, man. That should be the.
This Raider Nation is out, and look, this Raider Nation is getting back across the world. I mean, I'm out here in DC. I'm out here in DC.
Yep.
DC, Maryland area.
Yep.
The Raiders fans are coming out, man. They are. I mean, I'm in my store today. I'm working today. Raider hats everywhere. I said, look, where did y'all come from? They said we was to Birdsburg. I was never to Birdsburg, but look, at least y'all know what's going on.
Yeah.
I mean, it's coming across the. Hey, look, it's all across the city, man. It's all across the world now. The Raiders are being represented right over here in the East Coast. I'm letting you know that now. The Raider Nation is over here, wild and alive, over here in the East Coast of the DC area. They out here. They out here for real.
That's the thing. I think it's all across the world, man. The bottom line is that there's Raider fans everywhere. If there is a soldier, if there is a transplant, if there is whatever it is, the Raider Nation travels. Everybody, players from other teams. I always wanted to be a Raider. I always wanted to be a Raider. Now, if you live in certain areas, again, maybe you're not going to be, sporting your gear, in downtown Atlanta or something like that. Maybe you don't want to run into trouble in, XYZ where people are, in Boston or something like that. But you know what, man? We still do. We still do. The bottom line is, man, and I've said it before a million times, man. I'm not one of those guys that's like, tell the bandwagon people. I don't care. You know what? The first time that I saw a Raider game that I really appreciated was when I was 13 years old. But I was born a Raider fan. I was with my dad during the Super Bowl, watched the Super Bowl. I wasn't at the Super Bowl, but we were at a big Super Bowl party. I didn't know what the hell was going on. I was like, okay, it was freaking 1976. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, though, I didn't appreciate it till I was 13. Now, if the year that I appreciated it when I was 13, somebody had told me, hey, man, if you weren't around for, Tom Flores, you can't be around now for Rich Gannon, or you can't be around now for Jeff Hostetler, or you can't be around now for, whatever it is. I would have just said, okay, well, fine. I'm not a Raider fan then. So, when they come over, my thing is, you know what, man, this is a proud tradition. It's a good tradition. We're a family. Welcome to the family. Not so much, hey, man, you got to go, dude. You ain't been a Raider fan all your life, man. You got to go, dude. Hey, if you weren't around for this, you can't be around now. That's, in my opinion. And again, to all those people out there that are going to get upset, man, it's just my opinion. Don't let my opinion upset you. I'm just talking to another guy who called me from Maryland, having a good time after a Raider game. So just relax. You know what I mean? It's going to be okay. It'll be all right. But, man.
And I'm going to give you these calls. I'm going to be giving you these calls every week. I'm going to be calling you every week after these wins. And guess what? I'll be right there talking to you about the losses, too. I don't want to see no more. I don't want to see too many more losses right now.
There you go.
I'm going to be calling you every week.
Well, we can talk about next year, too, man. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
We're going to talk about the losses. We're going to talk about the wins. We're going to talk about it all. And one thing I like your last call, he was talking about the Alden Smith break. You say the right thing, that's why I love it. That's why I know I'm talking to true Raider fans. And you're right. He's not playing right now because he's a Raider. And the other reason, because we doing good. So we was in the dumps and looking like garbage. Oh, boy, get the Raiders all the stuff. We don't care. They garbage anyway.
Right.
But since we're good, and they say, oh my God, we can't give them all this risk after what Khalil Mack's doing, and they grabbing all up.
Yeah, they're going to win the Super Bowl.
We can't give them that. No, we can't do that.
Yeah.
We can't let them. We're going to make them sit out next year.
That's right. No, I don't think they can let him sit out next year, but I will say this, like you just said, they're looking at it, and they probably said, well, still
next year. Next year, but
right.
They don't want him to come back until next year.
Exactly. Because they know right now, if we get him back, these guys can win the Super Bowl, right? You look at it, and you start thinking to yourself, if they lose to Carolina, and then they lose to Buffalo, and then they lose on Thursday night to Kansas City, we'll give them back Alden Smith, because then they'll be struggling. They'll be behind Kansas City, and they'll get knocked out of the playoffs or whatever. But like I said, it's just like what they did to us when they gave them the suspension. They saw that we were heading toward the playoffs. They saw that we were heading toward the playoffs.
And they going to suspend him. And I know they just take him out again. And then I looked up something. I said, why Greg Hardy not in the league? Greg Hardy is nobody that's not signing him. He's still eligible to play right now.
Yep.
But nobody never signed him. I said, hold up. This man beat the hell out of some women. and he's saying that this man is eligible right now for somebody with a sign he can play. And Alden Smith let him do his thing. I mean, he's just cracking out there without being with his family, being with the friends, being with the fellas, that camaraderie that comes with being on the football team. He's missing that. He's like, I want to be out there with the boys. Just let me, and then he's ain't allowed to hang around. That's even worse. Like, at least let me hang around him.
Right.
I can't talk to the boy. I can't come to no practices. I mean, it's just these rules. Goodell, he needed to come down on his rule. I mean, he's just, like they say, he's a judge, jury, executioner. He don't need to be all that. He's doing that too much. It's too far. The boys should have been back like me. Or if they're not gonna let him back, let him know something. Don't have him sitting out there to win like he's
Right.
Don't
Right.
do that to that man.
Right.
Like that.
At least give him, tell him now, this is what it's going to be. But I've said it before and I'll say it again, man. Substance abuse, I think, is a different issue. We all make mistakes. We all make mistakes when we're under the influence, when we're, whatever it is. Believe me, I know, at the end of the day, though, substance abuse.
I always say that's a common man thing. When it's a common human error thing.
That's right.
You can't knock nobody. You gonna tell me, Goodell, you don't get a little Trump, you don't get a little.
But here's the thing. With that,
I'm pretty
with
sure
that,
you hanging around them big time people. You get a little drunk. You stuff out your mouth.
Oh yeah.
We men, we human errors.
That's right.
It all goes to that. You know what I'm talking about? You to let another man come in the league after, let's forget substance abuse to yourself. You harming another woman, another person.
Well, that's why this is the difference. This is the difference. Here's what I would say. This is the difference. Like I said before, substance abuse is something where the individual themselves needs to be surrounded by a community. They don't need to be cast aside. They don't need to be, you stand over there in the corner and the rest of your football team is going to practice and go out to pizza and pray together and become better spiritual people. But while they're doing that over there, you stay by yourself in your apartment. Don't meet these people. That drags them more. Now, when you're talking about, you punched your wife in an elevator, or you threw some woman onto a thing full of guns and strangled her and beat her up and did this and did that. Those things, again, are a little, or, you shot somebody in a nightclub, again, alcohol may have something to do with those things, but those are a little bit different, I think, in terms of violent offenses. Are violent offenses. I think they're just different than the cries for help that we get from a guy like Aldon Smith, who his own teammates say, hey man, when this guy's on the field and he's doing his thing, he's a choir boy, we love him, everything's good. As soon as he gets a hold of the firewater, man, and like I said, I know how that is.
And I want him to be around this Raider team. This Raider team, Jack Del Rio is getting these boys together. They are having fun together. These young boys. Ain't this something to see to watch?
Yeah.
Something built from the bottom.
Absolutely.
We watching something built from the bottom. We watching Dirk Carr from the 3-13 to the 7-9, and that's why these boys are blowing it up this year.
Yep.
These boys, they should have been in the playoffs last year.
That's what I said.
They're doing so good this year.
Yep.
We beat some good teams, but it's like Del Rio said. He said last year we learned how to compete. This year we learned how to win.
Yep.
You know what's going to be next year? Raider Nation is going to next year we're going to learn how to dominate.
Back to back, baby. Back to back.
Last year we learned how to compete. Last year we showed we could play with everybody. This year we showed we could beat anybody. Next year we're going to show we could dominate anybody. And that's the steps you do to make a great champion and make a dynasty. And I see a dynasty coming. I'm serious.
Yep. Yep, and like you said, you're talking about good character. It's gonna be back to back, man. If we win the Super Bowl this year, it's gonna be back to back. Hey, man, I got a few more callers, four more callers coming on.
I love the way you say that, man. I don't want to keep you up. I know you got some other callers, man. But I'm gonna go out and say this. Raiders!
All right, brother, man.
Hey, man, look. Y'all, this little girl from DC, man. I told you, man. I'm gonna be calling you every week, so I'm gonna see you. Matter of fact, I'm gonna call you Thursday. I'm having a show
Thursday, of course, man. No. After every game, man. After every game. So whenever the game is.
I'm gonna be talking to you Thursday. Expect a little no call. You're gonna get that 301 or that 202. That's me.
All right, brother, man. Hey, also go to our
Raider Nation. Loving that Raider Nation.
Also, go to our YouTube page, The Will to Win.
I'm already subscribed. I love y'all. I'm on The Will to Win. I'm on everything.
Okay, cool.
Everything that y'all do, I'm on that.
All right, brother, man.
Everything, Twitter, and whatever. I'm with y'all all the way. I'm with y'all. Lord goes with y'all forever, man.
All right, man.
Raider Nation, man. We live together. We die together. That's how we do all of it.
Sounds good, brother, man. We'll talk to you Thursday then. Raider Doe, the prophet,
I see you
the silver and black prophet.
Thursday, Raiders!
Raiders! All right, man. You know, a funny thing, I know we got a few more callers. Alamitos, Visalia, and Huntsville, Texas, still on the line, but I just wanted to say something. This one goes out to the night. You know, he always talked about building a different culture, about building something, you know, from the ground up to represent the Raider Nation in a positive way. And this football team is that, from Jack Del Rio, who's a true man, who's a general, a guy that walks out there, makes some decisions, does the things that he has to do, to the rest of the coaches. You know, Ken Norton, the rah-rah guy, the mad genius calling the offensive plays up there, the offensive line coach, you know, then to the players, you know, Derek Carr, the Christian, the servant, the guy that, you know, really just wants to bring everybody together and make everybody play as a unit. That offensive line that loves their leader, the young, extremely talented playmaker on offense on the other side, and the wily veteran that just understands the concept of how to get it done, you know, to the defense, to all the different things that we're doing. Khalil Mack, you know, all of these guys that are learning to play together. And you start talking about it. This was a culture where if you're a Raider, the perception is this. The perception is that you're a hoodlum, that you're a thug, that you're this, that you're that, right? And here these guys come around, and you just can't see Derek Carr rolling around with a red bandana on in a, you know, 64 with a pistol shoved in his belt. You know what I mean? You know, drinking a 40, like, yeah, let's go shoot somebody, or let's just go rob a liquor store or whatever. You're not getting that. You're not getting that from Amari Cooper. You're not, and I don't think that was the culture of the 70s and the 80s either. Even though those guys were free spirits, they were not. That was not the Raiders. And I think that there's a culture that's built around what is perceived to be the Raiders these days, which is not really true. Those guys went out, they drank, got drunk, whatever, did some crazy things, got in fights, whatnot, but they weren't bad dudes. They weren't outlaws the way that the public began to perceive the Raiders and say, oh, they're dirty and they do this and they do that. No, they were just guys that went out, had a good time, came, played football when they had to, when their job was on the line, they produced, you know. Now we're seeing such a different football team. We're seeing this family structure. We're seeing this unity, and it really is a beautiful thing. And I hope, again, and this goes out to the Oakland Knight, because he talked about it from Reggie McKenzie and all the guys that Reggie McKenzie, you know, sticking with Reggie McKenzie when everybody was against him, and believing in Reggie McKenzie that he was a Raider and he was going to do the right thing and pick the right guys, to the draft picks, to the coaching staffs, you know, to bringing in the right types of players. Not only were they available, but they were sought after. They were looked at. Everybody else was saying, I wouldn't take Derek Carr in the first round. And there were reports that if the Raiders had not gotten Khalil Mack, that the Raiders wanted to draft Carr in the first round at number 4, you know. So once again, they wanted these guys. They knew, they talked to them, they understood who they could be. And there's just a new style that's coming along, and for the people that still maintain the old style, there's still room. There's room for everyone, you know. But at the end of the day, it is beautiful to watch this team as it was constructed, and how they are a family, how almost anti-thug these guys are, and how anti I don't know. They're just they have some. This team's got something special, man. It's got something special, and it's going to be so exciting in the next couple of weeks to see where that goes. All right, we got a caller calling in. I was supposed to go 20 minutes ago. I got a caller calling in from Alamitos, California. Caller, you're on.
How's it going, Pirate?
What's happening, man? Who's calling?
This is Todd.
Hey, Todd.
I called in probably a couple weeks ago or whatnot. Yeah.
What's going on, brother?
Not the one from Maryland, whoever you're talking about. I was a different Todd.
Okay.
I just want to say, what's up, Pirate? And, I love what you guys are doing. I watch you guys all the time, every day, or whenever you guys upload anything. Yeah. And just to kind of touch on, what you were saying right now about, like the Raiders, we've gotten a bad rap, over the years and stuff like that. I mean, I'm barely going to be 30 years old in a couple weeks here. I've been a Raider fan my entire life. I was named after, Todd Christensen, who was my dad's favorite player. So it's like, someone can't come up and say,
Hey,
you're not a Raider fan.
exactly.
But
you're a bandwagon guy, Todd.
That, yeah, I'm total bandwagon. No, but just I'm not ashamed to wear any of my Raider gear, even though we had a lot of down seasons, the past decade plus. I've always been a fan that I always wear hats, sweaters, jerseys, you name it, and I have it.
Yep.
And I've gotten some crap in the past. The Raiders suck, the Raiders this, the Raiders that, and the bad part is that people come up and say, "Oh, I hate the Raiders." Like, well, why? And a lot of 99.9% of people, they don't know why they hate the Raiders, and maybe it's because way back in the day, there were was it like Dr. Dre, Tupac, and all those guys, they were Raider fans. Which I love those guys. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know, being in LA maybe because there were a lot of gangs back then, and they just got associated with just a lot of bad things, and a lot of the players weren't bad people. Yeah, they used to fight because they didn't want to get pushed around, and I'm sure you've seen a lot of the classic games and stuff,
right?
But they weren't like that. Anyway, just kind of I love what you had said previously. Before you took my call and everything, I just want to let you guys know I'm going down to San Diego. I don't know if you're going to go or not. If you do, text me. You have my number down. Come over and have a beer with us. Have some barbecue. But thank you for all that you guys do, and it's a lot of fun. Watching you guys analyze all of the other teams and all the videos and stuff like that. So
yeah.
Thank you.
No, man, we appreciate it, and again, I appreciate it now. Knight's taking a little bit of a break, but when you talk about Raider fans, and I just kind of look back and I read They Call Me the Snake, Kenny Stabler, and we talked to Kendra Stabler, Kenny Stabler's daughter, and a few other people that knew people on those football teams, and there wasn't a shady gangster type figure on any of those football teams. And if you look back at the 90s football teams when they went to Los Angeles and got associated with Ice Cube and the gang mentality, there wasn't really a gang style guy on any of those teams either. They were football players. They were making a lot of money. There's just this stigma that sort of came out of nowhere that Raider fans are just all gangbangers, punks, thugs. You're calling from a stolen phone and a stolen car, being chased on the freeway when you call into a radio show or whatever. And that's not to say that there aren't Raider fans that are like that. And it's like I said a million times before, man, if you are, hey, brother, more power to you. Find a better way if you can. If you can't, man, you got to keep doing what you got to keep doing. And, I don't know what else to say, but I would pray for you and just be like, I hope you don't end up, the way that a lot of those people do. But there is a changing way, and that changing way at this point is more toward the true Raider Nation than sort of this kind of pseudo LA kind of gangbang. I don't know. I mean, I don't like to get into it too much because, like I said, I respect any Raider fan. I don't care where you're from. But the bottom line is that I think that this team, unlike almost any other team, is almost the anti-Raider football team. Now, we got some beasts, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm talking some killers, but I ain't talking about killers. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about somebody that's going to stab you and shoot you and leave you in a ditch. I'm talking about some monsters and some guys that will get the job done. But I bet you at the end of the day, they go home and they're good people. They do the right thing as often as they possibly can. So this team is loaded with talent, man. Such a talented football team. And it's like I've said before, we're in the back end, man. We're coming down the stretch right now. We're going to know a lot more come Thursday. We can't play the way we played today, but we're going to know a lot more come Thursday night than we know now. And if we win that game Thursday night, I do not think we lose another game. I didn't think we would lose another game after we beat Carolina, because I had such a weird feeling about Carolina that when we beat them and the way that we beat them at the end, I thought, okay, we're not going to lose another game. When I saw the way that they played today, I was like, oh, God, we could lose this game. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, no, man, I was wrong. Oh, my God. But then they came out, and, again, they won in a different way, man. This team, I got to tell you something. Not only do they keep serving up wins, not only do they keep serving up numbers, not only do they keep serving up records, but they keep serving up interesting ways in which they win. They are giving us week to week a plate with a different entree made by a master chef. You know what I mean? It doesn't come when you want it to. You're still like, I'm hungry. I want to eat now. It's like, well, it's not ready yet. Would you like some more Coke, or would you like some more iced tea, or some wine, or whatever it is? You know, it doesn't come exactly when you want it. But, man, when you get it, it's good. It's good, man. So that's all I got to say.
This team has a lot of heart. I mean, a lot of heart.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Well, man, I appreciate you calling. I'm supposed to be off this thing. Got 2 more callers here to go. But please come back on Thursday night, man. I'd love to sit here and talk with you about it.
Yeah,
go to
sure.
our show on YouTube, The Will to Win. Check out the weekly shows. And, yeah, hope to hear from you again next week. All right, brother, man.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, man. Take care. All right. We got a caller calling in from Visalia. Oh, Visalia looks like we're going to give it a second. Did I just hang up on Visalia? Visalia, are you there? I think I may have just hung up on Visalia. Let's give Visalia a second here to see if Visalia comes back online. There's Visalia. Caller, I'm sorry. I must have hung up on you. You're on.
No problem there, Pryor.
Is this
Good to
Tim?
see you still doing this.
Is this
I
Tim?
hope night comes back soon. Yes, it is.
All right. What's going on, Tim?
Hey, man. Just got to finish watching the game. Just got back home a little bit ago. And 10-2, baby.
10-2. 10-2. Heading into a nice little showdown on Thursday night, man.
Oh, absolutely. It's going to be a great game Thursday night. I just hope our wide receivers catch the ball a little bit more consistently Thursday night. Can't have that.
There you go. There you go.
Other than that, I mean, the defense didn't play very good the first half. That second half, they came up and played. It's good to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right.
I mean, it's work to do, but you know what? 10-2, can't go wrong with that. And this team's special.
That's it.
Just amazes me the more I watch it. Just keeps on going.
Yeah, you know, I mean, again, like you just said, I think when you look at how we played defensively, there are some things that we can adjust. We keep saying that every week, but the defense keeps doing just enough to win, and that's all we asked for. You know, it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be the way that we want it to be. Again, I'll go back to that. I want my dinner now. Well, it's not ready yet. Well, I want to eat. I'm hungry. Well, it's not ready yet. And then you watch somebody get their dinner, and you're like, how come they got their dinner? They came here after we did. What's going on? And then all of a sudden, at some point, they come and they lay down your entree in front of you, and everything that you waited for and all that frustration of the first quarter, the second quarter, the beginning of the third quarter, it all goes away, because you know what? That is some good eating right there. That's some good eats. And you're just like pounding away at it like, oh, you got the meatloaf going, you got the mashed potatoes, got little veggies on top of that, and you're just kind of putting it in your mouth and you're like, oh, this is really, really good. That's what this team kind of reminds me of. You must have patience. If you don't have patience, then you're going to turn off the TV, you're going to switch the channels, you're not going to really appreciate how it is that they're doing what they're doing. And like I said, every week they're doing it in a slightly different way. This is not a team that's doing it the same way every week. Each time they're finding a new and a slightly different way to win. Derek Carr has been consistent. He's throwing the ball. You know, a lot of people said that he was going to wind down and not be very good, and he's going to regress, and there's no way he should be MVP, and you know, all these things, but he's kept on going. You know, Michael Crabtree coming up big today. But like you said, Seth Roberts, Michael Crabtree, Amari Cooper, even Rivera. You got to catch these balls, man. You got to catch these balls. He's putting them right where they need to be. You guys are catching the ones that are over your head and next to your shoelaces. You got to catch the ones that are right in your mitts, man, and come down with those and continue to move those chains.
You know, today I never felt like we were going to lose. You get this feeling now of the team.
Yeah.
They're going to find a way, and that's just such a special place, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. What do you think about the divisions? The Patriots are 10-2. Dolphins are 7-5. Baltimore Ravens and the Steelers are 7-5. Texans and the Titans are 6-6. And then we got that glut in the AFC West, 10-9-8. And the Chargers lost today, yeah? 5-7.
So,
yeah,
you know, here's the big deal. Here's the truth of the matter. We beat KC next week. We beat San Diego. Then it's ours. It doesn't matter after that.
That's it.
Those will make us in or make us out.
That's it.
About as far as winning the AFC West.
We got to beat KC. And then, yeah, if we can beat San Diego or Denver, I think either one of those two games will because right now, if we beat KC, that's going to put us at 11 and they'll be at 9. That'll be 2 games. And then if we make one more game, yeah, it's over. You're right. It's over. So, you know, we've got
to beat KC, beat San Diego, and then it's ours, no matter pretty much what happens, because we win the tiebreakers if I'm correct on that.
Oh, we win.
We lost the last 2 games, and they won the last games. They were in a tie with them, but we win the tiebreakers.
Right. Our division record is better. Basically, we are. Oh no! They have the better division. They're 3-0 in division. We're 2-1. So if we beat them, we'll both be 3-1 at that point.
Correct.
You know, but
it's
again,
important to beat San Diego.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we're winning the games that we have to win. That's the important thing. And you know, we're no matter what. I mean, this team is 10-2, man. It's the quietest 10-2 team. This is obviously the surprise team of 2016. We may as well, you know, put Dallas maybe from the NFC East. And then the Raiders, obviously, from the AFC West. This is the surprise football team. We are the Carolina Panthers, or, you know, whatever team just kind of came out of nowhere that nobody's giving a chance. They just are going to keep thinking that, you know, something's going to happen. The tire's going to go flat, whatever. But we are legitimately, because, again, the Patriots are 10-2, but come on, they're the Patriots, right? Everybody else is struggling to give away their lead in every division. Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Houston, Tennessee, Indianapolis, all those guys, they're just trying to give away their division, right? So we're the only one that keeps on kind of keeping it a little bit out of reach, a little bit more out of reach. Kansas City's doing some good things. This is a tough week, short week coming up. You got to travel to Kansas City. That's a hostile heavy. Oh, today, man, we got to give it to the Oakland Raider fans, man. They were out the box. I got to say, they were out the box, man. So that is a big thing. But again, I just thought about that because we got to go to Kansas City where it's really loud. The Raiders aren't going to be able to go no huddle like they did in Oakland here in order to get back into this football game. They're going to have to get in the huddle to talk to one another because it's going to be really, really loud there. Again, short week. This is a division opponent. They got a big, strong offensive line. You know, we have to do we just got to come out, like I said. I just wish Derek Carr's hand was healthy because I'd love to see him behind center, and I'd love to just smash the ball down these guys' throat like we did against Denver. That's not going to be possible out of the shotgun. So there's going to be, I think, there's going to be a lot of what we saw today. It has to be that way. There's not, when you run 100% of your snaps out of the shotgun, there aren't too many variations on what you can do in the running game. You know, so
yeah, we're pretty much. That's the two things I worry about this game coming up is the fact we have to go on shotgun, and the other fact is that we don't know what the weather is going to be like. If it's if it's bad, this could be a rough game for us. That's the thing I'm worried about.
Yeah, and like I said, don't ever take out of it Kansas City. That's a tough place to play. I think they've only lost what are they at home? They're 4-1 right now. So they've only lost one game at home up until this point. That's a hard place to play, man. And like you said, partially it's because of the weather. They're used to the weather, when it gets colder, when it starts to snow, everything that goes on with that stadium. But but you know what? I said it before and I'm going to say it again, man. If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. You got to go in there on a short week in a hostile environment after this team not only beat you, but this is the only team that really manhandled you. They manhandled you. They came into your house.
Yeah, but you know what?
Go ahead.
You know what? I really despise the schedulers for us this year. We really got put behind the 8 ball.
Yep.
But we're still going on the road and beating everyone when we play.
That's
So
it.
that's going to put some points to our side too.
That's what you got to do, man. That's what you got to do. You want to be the man, you got to beat the man, and this is their opportunity, man. So we're gonna see. Tim, brother, man, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I thank you so much for being part of that candlelight vigil that we put together and those 2 days that you kind of helped us and you were there for us. So I appreciate you calling in. And you got any last words? I know the night would love to hear something from you personally.
I want to see you back, but you know what? I respect anything and everything you do, buddy. Miss you immensely, but I'm glad that you're taking care of yourself and deciding what you want to do. Come back and feel better, but if you don't, we're always here for you, man.
Amen, brother. All right. Once again, man, we appreciate you, Tim, and we will talk with you. You going to be around Thursday, or?
Yeah, I should be, and let's have a good conversation again like this on Thursday night where we're up by 14 at the end of the game.
There you go, man. There you go. Even if we win by 1, man, I think we'll be having a really nice conversation.
We'll get that win by any means, right? By any means.
By any means, brother. All right, you take care. All right, ladies. Raiders. Sorry, Tim, I cut you off there. But gotta get on. You gotta get in where you fit in. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, please welcome to the stage, Watts Raider.
What's going on, Pirate?
What's happening, man?
Hello?
Yeah, you there?
You can hear me clear, bro?
Yeah, we can hear.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, man. Woo, boy.
Talk
I
about
just want to say, man, I am so proud of Khalil Mack and Bruce Irvin, man.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of them dudes, man. Because, man, they've been just so focused, man. They've been so focused, man. Because, look, when we getting drugged down the field, man, I done got kind of used to it, man. But I, in the back of my mind, I say this. I say, look, we're a second-half football team, man. Together. We was down 24-9, Pirate.
Yeah.
And I told Yoda, I said we need to score twice. And if we score twice, then we see where we at.
Yeah.
But we scored 3 times. And then on defense, we got off the field and got turnovers.
Yeah.
It was just beautiful. Like you said, like Del Rio made the call. Musgrave was like, look.
Yeah.
I'm thinking in my mind, I'm like, because I'm like Rich Ryan and Ron Ryan, they was blitzing us, and I was like, please, Musgrave, come with some plays. We gonna need some plays. And then Latavius Murray, I'm proud of Latavius Murray too, man. Because
he ran with
I see that he been working out in the offseason and it's paying off, man.
Yeah.
It's paying off.
Yeah.
It's paying off.
He ran with power today.
Also, man, but look, hey, yeah, Cowser.
Yes.
Allen,
there you go.
McDonald played.
There you go.
Played.
Yeah.
They played. So when I scream to the football gods, when I need something done, it happens, Pirate.
Yep.
It happens.
There you go. There you go. Hey, man, you got to admit. You got to admit, look at it like this, man. You got to look at it like this. Again, when you talk about this football team, going into the future, we talk about the next 3-4 weeks, next 5 weeks, whatever it is before we get into the playoffs. Can they figure out okay, so I said it earlier in the show. This is a team that comes out in the first quarter, doesn't do too much. They sort of mess around a little bit. Second quarter, they kind of get themselves back into the game. But, you know, it's always really close. We're up by 3 or we're down by 3 or something like that. Okay. Third quarter, they come out again. We usually have terrible third quarters. Then fourth quarter, it's like the babyface killer comes out and he just starts biting people and chewing through people and eating arms and doing everything else. He becomes a cannibal. Derek Carr literally.
I'm going to tell you why, Pi. I'm going to tell you why, Pi. I'm going to tell you why. Because Del Rio probably has the best halftime speeches ever in history that he said to these men. And DC is like a pig. He's watched. When DC retire, man, he's going to have his own church, man. And he's going to be a pastor or something.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Like Kaufman, man. Watch, man.
Watch, but big. Man. But it's going to be big.
He's right. He's like a. He gets the message from Del Rio and he passes it on to the squad. Khalil Mack comes out, you know what I'm saying? Boom. And it's everything is getting contagious right now.
Yes.
It's getting contagious.
Yeah. Did you see how it turned? Like they talk about momentum a lot, but and it happened to us in that Panther game when Derek Carr's finger got hurt, right? But
I'm gonna tell you the time on the clock.
All right.
When it changed. 9 minutes left in the third quarter.
Yes.
After the 9-minute mark, when we got to the 9-minute mark in the third quarter, after that, we dominated the game.
Yeah. That's when they said there's still plenty of time. There's still plenty of time, 9 minutes in the third quarter, and boom, like I said, we came out. But again, what happened was this football team didn't let the whole third quarter get away from them. They came back halfway through the third quarter. They did something.
Management.
Yes, they did.
Football.
They did something that they have not done in the past, and that is they put their foot on the pedal from the halfway point of the third quarter to the end of that game. To the end of the game. It didn't start in the fourth quarter. They made their move. They came out. It was like Secretariat, dude. It was like they were coming around. And they're like, oh, the Raiders is in fourth place. They're in third place. He's making a move. He's coming around the bend. He's taking the second place. Oh, my God. He's got the lead. And then all of a sudden it was we left them. We left that team. And you could see it. You could see it on Tyrod Taylor.
The defense played complimentary football.
Yes. No, they stepped it up too, right? They got 3 3-and-outs in a row.
Right.
Okay, they got pressure. They started they started shutting down the gaps. They started doing all the things that you need to do. And we talked about this. That's why, like I said, when me and Knight started at the beginning of the season, we thought this was going to be one of the best defenses out there. They were going to have a tremendous number of sacks and interceptions. And we saw through the preseason and into the first 4 games, it went from one of the best to please just do enough, please. You know what I mean? Like just don't. I mean, just if you just do enough, we don't care if you get thrown on for 500 yards. Just don't let them get that last field goal. If you could just do that, it will make up for everything else you did. And I'm telling you, man, they're getting better. TJ Carey coming in. TJ Carey played his ass off, man.
For sure.
Yeah.
What's up with Carl Joseph, man?
He got a toe. He got a toe, and I'm not sure if it's a turf toe or I could look that up real quick. But yeah, when he went out, that guy was hitting too, man. He was running around, knocking people.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Okay, so he left with he got replaced by Nate Allen, and Nate Allen had that beautiful little interception going on. Man, like you said, dude, like you said, the cool thing was we got the strip sack, which was a turnover. We got Khalil Mack knocking the ball and the interception. You know what I mean? We got 3 sacks. I mean, the defense did more than enough today. You know what I mean?
Right.
Look at this. In 320,
really, we just gave up the running game. The passing game wasn't really on point for Buffalo. It was their running game that we could stop, you know.
Right.
So, I mean, it was Sean McCoy, and the other running back played good, too. I can't knock those. They were doing some plays.
Whoa, hang on a second. I'm on this webpage, and it's trying to show me something. But look at what it says here. Okay, so in 323 coverage snaps, Joseph has only been targeted 22 times on the season, allowing just 70 catches per Pro Football Focus. His 14.7 snaps per target is among the best in the NFL. So he's doing his job in terms of coverage and everything else, but it just says he left.
And then when he knows that they're not throwing his way, he can roam around a little bit too.
Exactly. But I'll tell you what, dude, LaShawn McCoy, I don't know if you noticed it or not, man, but that guy goes from 0 to 60. He's like a Lamborghini or something. I mean, they got him that ball, and he was still stationary, and then all of a sudden he was just like the Roadrunner, you know? I'm like, what the heck, man? That dude is fast. All right, let me see.
Yeah, it's all Chip Kelly's fault. Billy could have still had it.
Amen, man. Well, man, hey, they're 10-2. We talked about it before.
Yeah,
the goal. They seem to have picked up on your goal, which you were the first one to come out with. They seem to be moving toward that. I got goals. My goal is championship game and then Super Bowl.
Right.
And I'm telling you,
one more.
They could have dropped this game. They could have dropped this game.
I want to get to your goal, though. I want to get to yours. That would be nice.
Well, hey, we'll see. We'll see,
and
man.
The other one too.
We'll see. I mean, it's going to take it there. This next game coming up is going to tell us a lot. You know what I'm saying? Thursday night is going to tell us a bundle, dude. It's going to tell us a bundle. Ooh. So once we see
beat us the last 3 times we played, this is a big game. And if we lose, we're gonna be tied with them suckers.
Exactly. So no, they'll be a half a game. No, they'll have swept us, which will be a full game ahead of us.
Right. Well, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right. You sound right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we got to do our thing, man.
More motivation.
But I got to tell you, the Chiefs.
Look! I just seen the stat. Eric Berry had 2 interceptions in the Falcons game, so they trying to come for us, man.
Well, I'll tell you what, dude. They struggled against the Falcons. They barely beat the Falcons. If you look at how they probably are thinking right now, man, we were lucky to win that game. If you look at how the Raiders are thinking right now, man, we knew we were going to win that game. You know what I'm saying? So I think we're going to go in there. We're going to see, man. Like I said, I'm excited. I'm excited, man, because this is big. This is our Denver Broncos. This is our – I mean, we already passed our watershed moment, man. No matter what happens, even if we lose to these guys, we're going to get into playoffs, and we're going to cause some damage. Yep, we're going to cause some damage. But like I said, I want to go in there, and I want to beat the Chiefs. I want to beat them up nasty. I want to throw them through a stained glass window. I want to choke them, put their head in a toilet, do everything. You know what I mean? Just be like, look, man, I'm sorry, but this is the way it has to be. Anyway, man, my daughter's trying to get at me over here. So appreciate you calling, brother, man, and hopefully we will talk Thursday after the game, man.
For sure, man. We're going to touch bases, man. Shout out to the Oakland Knights, man. Shout out to you, bro. I know you listening and watching, man. I know you're going to come back, man.
He's out there.
To that ball, you got to come back.
Oh, man, he's out there. He's listening, right? He's chomping at the bit, man. He's talking to himself in the mirror. He's got a comb right now. He's chomping at the bit. Like I said, there's going to be an Oakland Knights sighting, man. A guy with that much love. Like I said, we got to work out some contractual deals right now, parking place. He wants his own elevator. There's some other things that, I've been like, I don't know. He wants a limousine like yours. You know what I mean? And I was like, it's not in the budget, So we're making a lot of money, but not that much money. So, we'll have to see. But no, man, I'm sure he appreciates that, man. And if enough people, those of you out there, listen up. If enough people keep on hitting up in the comments section, Knight, come back. Knight, come back. Knight, just talk to us about your day. I'm sure there'll be an Oakland Knights sighting, 1 or 2. All right, brother, man.
For sure. At the least.
Yeah, man.
At the least.
Yeah. No, he'll be around. All right, brother, man. I gotta go. Good talking with you. Got to wrap it up, but hopefully we'll talk to you next week, man. All right, I'm sorry. This week. This week on Thursday. So, yeah.
Right.
All right, brother, man.
For life, man. Go Raiders.
All right. All right. All right, guys, I'm going to have to wrap this up. Just a final message for those of you guys that went live on Facebook today on our channel, The Will to Win. That's just our own, has nothing to do with anybody else's channel. Those of you that watched the show, hey, those of you that watch the show, come on over, like and subscribe. Come on over to our YouTube side and make sure to like and subscribe. We'll be doing a lot more stuff over on this side. Probably still be doing stuff on the Will to Win page as well, but it drains my phone like super, super fast, and it's just kind of awkward to have that sideways vision. So those of you that did watch that, again, if you are on the Facebook side, come on over and subscribe to us on YouTube, the W2W. Yeah, if you guys have questions, you can also email us, the W2W at gmail.com. Please do like and subscribe, and we will be doing some daily shows, and we'll be here after every game, man. So hope to see you guys. Hope you guys had fun, man. What a game. Exciting, man. We got a big one coming up here on Thursday, so that's going to be oh man, we just need to run the ball on those fools and or throw the ball for like 500 yards. I'll take a 500-yard passing game, but that's hard to do on Kansas City. They got a lot of Eric Berry and the corners on that football team, the pass rush. It's we just need to just power those guys over and just humiliate them. All right, guys. So appreciate you guys checking in, and we will see you guys again tomorrow, and then on for sure on the after show on Thursday. All right, guys. Take care.